from the station that's on your side. This is News 12, First at 5.
More money is heading to South Carolina teachers and state employees. Next, live at 5. We'll tell you where the money is going and where it is not. It has been a project in the works for 17 years now, revitalizing the Laney Walker area. One of the most in need of revitalizing projects, the historic C.T. Walker House. It is one of Augusta's most historic properties.
Yeah, and today the city of Augusta celebrated a path forward for that property after buying it from Historic Augusta last November. Our Craig Allison is live at 5 with more from the city on future improvement projects.
Well, today was the C.T. Walker House just over there, but we're actually on top of some more of the land the city wants to develop for the Laney Walker community down the road. And it's with this property and 6 to 8 other developments, Housing and Community Development have acquired to now develop all on top of that. Their director, Hawthorne Welcher, says now that the average income has also doubled since the revitalization started, they're speaking with neighbors about what they would like to see bring in even more growth, such as a grocery store, dining places, and more. And we caught up with Leon Mabin, who's been living in the Laney Walker neighborhood on and off for the past 60 years.
Well, I think the Augusta Housing and Community Development is doing a great job. They are not only keeping their word for its revitalization, but at the same time bringing what I feel the community needs and talking with the community itself to get an idea of what they would like to see within this revitalization.
And all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're talking with Housing and Community Development about their momentum and developing forward with the revitalization here in Laney Walker.
Thanks, Craig. Certainly a lot of movement going on in that area of Augusta. We'll check back in with you later this evening. Turning to weather now, we're taking a live look for you in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. Today marks 2 years since the deadly shootings targeting Asian spa workers, leaving 8 people dead and 2 others wounded. 6 of the 8 victims were Asian. The shootings came around the time Asian hate crimes increased. In response to that movement called Stop Asian Hate, it gained support nationwide. Atlanta leaders are using this week to honor the victims and to keep that movement going. Robert Aaron Long admitted to one of those shootings but pleaded not guilty in a different one just hours after the first. Fulton County prosecutors say they are seeking the death penalty.
For the first time since his death, the mother of the victim who died on a free-fall ride is visiting the Florida amusement park. 14-year-old Tyree Sampson died after slipping out of his seat while on the Orlando free-fall ride at Icon Park on March 24th. Her visit comes nearly a year to the day of his death.
This is my first time in Florida, and I had to come down under these circumstances. It's a bittersweet moment. You know, the ride's coming down. I'm thankful for that. But my son's not coming back. So it's a bittersweet moment.
Since the tragedy, the Orlando free-fall owner settled with the state agreeing to shut down the ride and pay a $250,000 fine. Well, thousands of South Carolinians would get pay raises under the state budget that just passed the House of Representatives today.
It's nearly a $14 billion spending plan. Our State House reporter Mary Green joins us now live in Columbia. And Mary, what's it been like at the State House as they've worked all of this out?
Well, it has been very busy here. The entire House of Representatives was here working at the State House until nearly midnight on Monday as they were working through amendments and disagreements over how the state should spend nearly $14 billion. But today they came to a compromise. They passed this budget and is now on its way over to the Senate.
We started off with telling the press and people that we were going to emphasize people over programs, and you see that promise was made in December and the promise was kept. today as we've given third reading to this budget.
Here are some of the highlights of the budget the House passed this week. Public schools collectively would receive more than $260 million more than they did last year. This would also raise the statewide starting pay for teachers by $2,500, up to $42,500. $30 million would be put to raising pay for state law enforcement officers. All state employees would receive at least a 3% raise, but it's larger for those making less than $83,000 a year.
For too many years, the House has taken care of state employees, and the Senate has, shall we say, left some room for improvement.
The budget also includes $450 million for road and bridge improvements. And this is not the final form of the next state budget. Senators will take up the budget next month, and then the two chambers will have to work out a compromise to send to the governor. Reporting live from the South Carolina State House, Mary Green, on your side.
Thanks, Mary. 11 Republicans who are members of the ultra-conservative South Carolina Freedom Caucus voted against the budget.
They say that it would grow the size and scope of the government, and they oppose that. Abortion pills may be pulled from the market if one judge's ruling goes through. We head to Texas for the proceedings. Next, live at 5. Riley?
We do have cold temps heading our way again tomorrow, but warmer air and also some rain moving in by Friday. We'll have a full forecast for you just after the break.
Columbia County is looking into becoming its own city. What that means for those living there, coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
I'm attorney Jamie Casino. If you're injured in a wreck, our team has scored record results in the courtroom, and our Google rating is excellent. Injured in a wreck? Call me right now.
It's Ram Truck Month at Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we have all these Challengers and Chargers in different colors and trim levels that deliver on power and performance. Come by today to check them out.
Whether you're a farmer, hunter, contractor, or weekend warrior, North Augusta Customs is your authority in trucking accessories. From hitches to step bars, toolboxes to tonneau covers, leather interiors, or window tinting, North Augusta Customs is committed to being your go-to shop. Your exclusive dealer of spray-on bed liners and truck gear accessories by Linux, both backed by a nationwide lifetime warranty. North Augusta Customs, located just across the river on Jefferson Davis Highway and on nacustoms.com.
There was a sound in the breeze, a song from the trees that whispered through the night. Just an ordinary place, but I held you just in case we traveled to the end of time. And I know that I love you. I hear you singing in my mind.
Introducing Astapro Allergy, steroid-free allergy relief that starts working in 30 minutes, while other allergy sprays take hours. Now with Astapro Fast Allergy Relief, you can Astapro and go.
It's the Jeep Celebration event at Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get 0% financing on select Jeeps. We have them lifted and ready to be shifted into your driveway. Come get one today.
All right, welcome back. Taking a live look outside over down.
Just another temperature drop behind that rain this weekend. Notice our high temperature Sunday will only stay into the mid-50s, and we are going to stay pretty chilly heading into early next week.
Thanks, Riley. The future of abortion pills in the U.S. is in question with a lawsuit underway in Texas. A U.S. district judge is holding a hearing about whether to ban the sales of mifepristone, even in states where the drug remains legal, like Georgia.
The pill is considered the most common method of abortion in the U.S. CBS News correspondent Michael George has more on the debate from New York.
Protesters gathered at this Texas courthouse where a conservative federal judge is considering a case that could halt nationwide use of the abortion pill mifepristone.
After the overturn of Roe, millions of women have lost access to abortion care, especially here in Texas. So the access to medication abortion is one of the last options that we have.
The lawsuit, filed by anti-abortion groups, is asking for an immediate order that would revoke or suspend the drug's FDA approval. More than 20 years ago, the FDA gave mifepristone the green light in combination with a second pill as a safe and effective method to induce a medicated abortion.
What people are asking for is not just say that the FDA was incorrect in approving mifepristone, not just for this district in Texas, but nationwide.
Government lawyers contend taking the drug off the market would unravel reproductive care for women in the U.S. and undermine federal oversight of prescription drugs.
This case could have profound implications for access to abortion throughout the entire United States. Targeting medication abortion is a way of really cracking down and enforcing these draconian abortion restrictions that have popped up and are being enforced in so many states in the wake of the Supreme Court overruling Roe.
Danco Laboratories, which makes the drug, is joining the FDA in arguing to keep the pill available. Justice Department attorneys would likely appeal any decision against mifepristone and seek an emergency stay to prevent the ruling from taking effect. Michael George, CBS News.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
At Lazy Boy, life comfortably.
New at 5, 4 teens are behind bars after a shooting that turned deadly at a Sweet 16 party. This video shows 3 of the 4 suspects deputies arrested being booked into the Douglas County Jail. We're told more than 100 teens were at the party on March 4th when gunfire broke out outside. That shooting claimed the lives of 15-year-old Samuel Moon, a 10th grader at Lithia Springs High School, and 14-year-old Ajane Hill, a 9th grader at Douglas County High School. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office says gang charges are pending for the teens.
Car crashes are a leading cause of death for children ages 1 to 13, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. That's why the agency says it is so important that you choose the right car seat for your little one.
In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Carice Jackman breaks down what you need to know before buying a seat and putting your child inside.
If there's one thing Fritzy Schreffler is passionate about,
if you look at these buttons, like you see buttons here, that's where you're going to find these lower anchors.
It's safety.
And then you can pull this out, and then you pull this tight without touching that.
Schreffler is spokesperson for her state's Department of Transportation, as well as a car seat technician.
So what we're trying to do is everything we can pre-crash to make sure your child's as safe as possible.
To do that, she spends several hours a day, not just installing car seats for parents, but also educating them.
We don't want to just put it in and have them go, great, I'm never taking it out and I'm leaving. We want them to feel comfortable that they understood, so we try and get them involved.
Schreffler says before the car seat ends up in the vehicle, parents should make sure they're buying it from a reputable source and think twice if the seller is a stranger online.
Buying it on Facebook, you don't know the history, and somebody who's trying to sell it is not necessarily going to tell you the truth because they want to make some money off of selling the seat.
Even worse, the car seat could be counterfeit.
It has been really surprising to us that counterfeit car seats really have gained in popularity. And really, it's when you're buying it typically online. You need to look and see who's selling it. Is it a third party that's selling it that you can't get in touch with to ask questions? Do they have all the proper labels? I mean, they're going to make it look as close to a regular car seat as possible.
To make it easier for parents, NHTSA has this used car seat safety checklist on their website, highlighting what you should look out for when buying a car seat.
First of all, ensure that the seat has never been involved in a crash. The seat has labels stating the date of manufacture and the model number, because you would need that information to find out if there's a recall on the seat or find out if the seat is too old to use.
Laura Dunn with NHTSA also says look for any wear and tear on the buckles, straps, and belts. And if you're worried about installing a car seat properly, NHTSA has an inspection station locator on its website. Just put in your zip code to find the one closest to you. A useful tool and tips that'll keep your little one safe while you're behind the wheel. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also recommends you keep your child in the back seat through at least the age of 12. Stick with us, we'll have much more news and weather coming up after a short break. If you've been hurt, Well, in 2 days, some of the CSRA's finest and brightest students will be competing in the Georgia State Spelling Bee. Shout out to Sai Lakamesti from Stallings Island Middle and Ayana Kiani from Augusta Prep Day School. Only 20 other spellers were picked for the 60-second spelling bee.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive
Yes.
because I could never do that.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, we have to do it because
No, we don't have
we're
to.
having
We got
bit
a
of
little
spelling
spelling bee. Absolutely.
Yeah, Riley has a couple.
I got the words
for
right
us.
here.
Man, I
Okay.
feel like I'm getting thrown under the bus.
All right,
No,
so
we
y'all
are.
ready
We're
for the
terrible
first
at
one?
this. Okay.
All right, so who wants to go first?
Meredith, you can go.
All right,
Okay.
Meredith, the first word, umami.
Umami.
That's not even a real word.
That's what I kind of said,
Can
but
you use it in a sentence?
it's one of the
I don't
five
think we have
basic
time for
tastes.
sentences.
Okay.
It is one of the five basic tastes, so a savory flavor.
Umami.
You
UMAIMI.
Close, but no cigar.
UMAMI.
Good job, Will. That was correct.
Let's go.
All right, so this is a tough
I
one.
went to school.
Y'all ready for this?
Yes.
We'll go Meredith first.
Mhm.
Meteorologist.
Oh, I can do this. I write this 100 times a day.
All right,
And now I'm
let's-
going to get it wrong because I just said that.
All right.
METER.
No, you already messed it up.
METE.
No.
I got to write it down.
Once you get it wrong, you're out. You're out.
METEO. Okay, go spell it.
MET meteor EOROLOGIST.
I have to write it
Think
down.
that, yeah,
I
I'm
have
pretty
to
sure I
write
caught
it down.
most of
If
those
I'm writing
letters.
it down, I can do it.
All right, last one, Mediterranean.
Okay, now not doing it.
That
Too
one's
many
tricky.
words. Too many letters.
Yeah, MEDITERANE.
I got that one right.
Bingo.
I think I
There
won
you
that
go.
one. I think I won that one.
Riley, there's a reason I'm in broadcast and not newspapers, and that is why.
That's weird.
Dude, I was with y'all, honestly, though. I think
No.
if I could spell meteorologist, but umami Mediterranean, I would have definitely got that.
All right, well, soccer champ and spelling bee champ. Look at that. Who knew? All right, stick with us. We'll be back after a short break.